Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt stuck, afraid of change, maybe a lack of clarity or a lack of direction? If so, then listen up because today's episode is just for you. Welcome to episode 1 of Life and Love by Design. Today's episode is called Designing Life and Love with Intention. And it's pretty much an introductory episode to my podcast. I'm your host, Odette Coronel. I am an accredited professional coach, NLP practitioner, and relationship mentor. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about what it means to live life and love by design. And what I mean by that is to help you stop living by default, start taking ownership of your life, and start creating and designing the life and the relationship that you want to live with intention, with purpose, with joy, with all of those things that feel truly aligned with what you want. This episode is for you if maybe you're feeling a little lost, or you've lost your spark within yourself, or maybe you've lost the spark in your marriage or your relationship and you want to learn how to get it back. Maybe you've been picking the wrong type of partners, even though you want to find your person to settle down with and get married and have children, but you just keep attracting the wrong type of partners. Or maybe you're just feeling a lack of clarity or lack of direction. Perhaps you've got a really successful career and you keep getting promoted and you're just following that every step on that ladder of success. But when you get to the top of that ladder, you're still feeling kind of unfulfilled. Or maybe you're super comfortable in your job, and that comfort is kind of keeping you stuck because secretly you're daydreaming about, starting a business or maybe traveling the world, and you feel that you don't want to risk it because you're comfortable right now. There are so many examples. We can go on, and I want to start off by saying that if you're feeling this way, first of all, it's okay. You're totally normal. We all experience this. The fact is that I believe human beings are meant to evolve. They're meant to grow. They're not supposed to stay stagnant. So we get that feeling so that we can reflect and think about our lives and reevaluate and decide, what do we want to do next? We want to become intentional with our lives. So that feeling of stuckness or that feeling of lack of clarity or direction, it's there for a reason. It serves a purpose. So if you're feeling that, it's fine. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with your life. However, you do want to use that as a means or as a starting point to really reflect and do something different. Decide on purpose. I always say we want to do what we do with intention. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. As I mentioned before, I am a coach. I work with clients one-on-one. I also work with couples. I do group coaching. I'm also doing group supervision now. And in addition to that, I am a mom. I have 3 children. They're grown now. And I've been happily married to my best friend for 26 years now. And at the same time that my husband and I were raising our children and starting our family, we also started a business together and ran that business for all these years. So I know what it's like to be in every transition of a relationship, of motherhood, of life, and those moments where you start to reevaluate again and you start to decide on purpose, am I really feeling fulfilled? Is this really where I want to be? And where do I want to go next? So I also know what it's like to have lots of things going on at the same time and feel overwhelmed and sometimes lose yourself in your roles. Sometimes us moms lose ourselves in our roles as moms or as wives, and we're serving others. And we have to be reminded to put our own oxygen mask on first. Throughout my journey, I've learned a few key things that have really served as like my guiding principles. And I just want to share a few of those with you. There are a lot. And I'll probably be sharing more as we go throughout the podcast. But just for today, first and foremost, I want to say that it's very important to make sure that when you're choosing your life partner, that you choose wisely. That decision is going to impact every area of your life. It's going to impact your finances, your career, how you parent, your mental health, your physical health, everything. And also, I really believe that the person that you choose to spend your life with can be a tremendous resource in your life. And that person should be your safe haven and where you feel the most seen and loved and appreciated, and not your source of struggle, which we see so often. As a relationship coach, I often see situations where the partners are adversaries. They see each other as adversaries as opposed to seeing each other as a team, as in it together, you and I against the problem. Another really important thing that I believe and that I've instilled in my children, I talk about with my clients, and I live based on this myself, is to get really clear on what your values are, what matters most to you, because your values really serve as your guiding principles. When you're clear on what your values are and what matters most to you, that serves as your compass. That's going to help you make decisions. It's going to help you know how to show up, how you want to behave, what you want to do. So be very clear and think about what your values are. And the third thing that I wanted to share with you is that although it's really important to be clear on where we're going and that vision that we have for our lives, I want to remind you that it's really also important to take a minute, be present, and enjoy the journey. It's not just about the destination. So what I mean by that is enjoy the day to day. Enjoy your life every single day. Find things to be grateful for. Be present. Because the fact is, I heard someone once say that the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. And it's so true. We reach one destination and we're looking for the next. It's okay to change our mind. It's okay to pivot. It's okay to reflect and reevaluate and change. As I said before, human beings are not meant to be stagnant. We're not meant to stay where we are. We're not meant to be stuck. We're meant to grow. We're meant to change and evolve. Think about your life from the moment you were born. In that first year alone, we change and grow so much. There's nothing wrong with us at any stage of our growth. It's just we're meant to grow. We're meant to evolve. So when we look at ourselves and we're feeling stuck, it's okay. We reflect, but we still enjoy the journey. We still enjoy where we're at now as we continue in a different direction. So if you remember just one thing from today's episode, remember, you are not stuck. You have a choice and you're just growing. You're just evolving. It's okay. So I'm going to leave you with a few questions that I want you to think about. And the first one is, in order to create and design the life and the love that we want, we have to know what that looks like. So if you had a magic wand, what would the life and the love that you want to live look like? What does it look like? What would it feel like? How would you describe it? Think about it. And also, if you had that life, what would you do? What kind of thing, what would your behavior be? What kind of actions would you be taking? What would your energy be like? And who would you have to be in order to live that life and that love? What kind of person would you have to be? What's your identity, right? So think about those things. And then the last thing is, let's say you didn't do anything. Let's say you said, you know what, I'm just going to stay where I am. I'm going to stay stuck. I'm comfortable. I'm fine where I'm at, which is totally fine. Again, it's your choice. You don't have to do anything. Nothing's gone wrong. But let's say that you didn't make a change. You chose not to design your life and your love with intention and on purpose. And you just kind of remain just kind of as things are right now. How would you feel maybe a year from now if you're still as you are today? Would you feel content or fulfilled, or would you still be longing for something else? So this week, I'm going to invite you to decide to be more intentional in one small area of your life. So maybe you're going to make sure that you put your phone away while you're having dinner with your family. Or maybe you're going to decide that you're going to wake up 10 minutes earlier and maybe meditate or just have a more relaxed morning. Or maybe you're going to start going for a walk in the morning. Whatever it is, the point is, what is it that you're going to decide to become more intentional about on purpose, one small thing that's going to have a positive impact on your life. Remember, we don't have to change everything all at once, and we don't have to do something huge. Small shifts are what make a really big difference. So start with this small thing. The point is being intentional. We're starting a practice of being intentional. Thank you for joining me here today and spending your time with me. I am so excited to get started on this journey together. I really want this podcast to be a resource for my clients, for my listeners, for my children even. So I'm going to be sharing valuable tools, different perspectives, maybe some stories from my clients or conversations. And I'm also going to be inviting some interesting guests that have some great wisdom to share. And I want to offer you content that you find really valuable. So I'm asking my clients and my family, and I'm asking you, my listeners, send me any questions that you have. Email me at lifecoach@odettecoronel.com. And if you have anything you want to hear, any suggestions for podcast episodes, I want to hear that too. If anything that you heard on this episode today resonated with you, please subscribe to this podcast. Maybe like and share this episode and help us grow. And I'll be here next Wednesday and every Wednesday. Until next time, remember, your life and your love are yours to design.